Terry Lynn Janway, age 68, was married to Dr. Jack Janway, age 69. The couple lived at their home at the 2800 block of Sawyer Street in Muskogee. Muskogee, Oklahoma is located about 48 miles southeast of Tulsa. It has a population of a little less than 40,000 citizens. Dr. Jack Janway is a well-known chiropractor in Muskogee. He owned his own chiropractic and acupuncture clinic. He was highly regarded in the community and known as Dr. Jack. In 2004 the Janways suffered an enormous loss. Their 27-year-old son Jordan was killed in a tragic skydiving accident. He and another seasoned skydiver had a mid-air collision at approximately 10,000 feet. He was knocked unconscious and unable to open his parachute. Modern parachutes have a chip that will automatically open during an accident. Sadly, Jordan's chip was undergoing maintenance on this particular day. The couple are the parents to supermodel Chandra Johnson, who is married to 7-time NASCAR winner Jimmy Johnson. He's also co-owner of Legacy Motor Club. Jimmy Johnson's net worth is $160 million. Chandra and Jimmy married in 2004. The Janways have 2 other children, Marianne and Caleb. Marianne's youngest child, 11-year-old Colton Janway, has lived with his grandparents since he was 2 years old. Dalton was a 5th grader at Sadler's Arts Academy in Muskogee. The couple were having financial problems and sought relief by filing bankruptcy. They were close to losing their home to foreclosure. According to court records, the couple accumulated approximately $500,000 in debt, with $174,000 owed to over 20 credit card companies, $29,000 to student loans for sending their children through college, $32,000 for a Jeep Cherokee, and $17,000 for a Dutchman travel trailer. On June 26 in 2023, shortly before 9 p.m., Terry Janway shot her husband, Dr. Jack Janway, then her 11-year-old grandson Dalton Janway. After ensuring they were gone, she called 911 and told them there was a woman in their home with a gun. When officers arrived at the scene, through the window, they noticed a man laying in the hallway. Officers pulled Dr. Janway outside. However, they quickly discovered he was already dead. Officers heard gunshots from inside the residence. Officers called out if anyone else was in the home to come outside. When backup arrived at the scene, a search of the residence revealed 2 more bodies. Terry Janway and the couple's 11-year-old grandson were both found deceased. Muskogee Mayor Marlon Coleman was a client of Dr. Jack's. He was left in shock and full of sorrow after the murders. He said, "It was traumatizing to find out that a long-standing family, who had made so many contributions to our community, were involved in this type of incident. It was even more bone-chilling to find out there was a child involved. I knew Dr. Janway. Dr. Janway has worked on me. We've been acquaintances for a very, very long time since I've been in Muskogee. Just knowing that it was him and his family took a different toll on me." NASCAR made a public statement saying, "We are saddened by the tragic deaths of members of Chandra Johnson's family. The entire NASCAR family extends its deepest support and condolences during this difficult time to Chandra, Jimmy and the entire Johnson and Janway families." After the devastating news, Johnson's racing team made a public announcement that he would not be in the upcoming NASCAR race in Chicago. They elected to withdraw number 84 Caravan Chevrolet from the NASCAR Cup Series event that was held in Chicago. In their statement they also said, "The Johnson family has asked for privacy at this time, and no further statements will be made." Longtime family friend Brian Ousley said the couple were very kind people. Ousley is the founder and owner of Strictly Fitness. He said they supported his center's annual weight loss challenge and were longtime friends. He said, "Anything we needed to support the challenge, he was always ready to help." He spoke, not just from a chiropractic perspective, but from a medical perspective as to the downside of obesity, and the benefits of exercise. Dr. Jack's patients are shocked at his loss. One patient said, "Dr. Jack was my chiropractor and friend along with his wife Lynn for 23 years. The shock and sadness is overwhelming. He took care of me, my kids, one of our horses and now my grandkids. I sent many friends to him that ended up being long-time patients. Both of them were kind, humble, sweet caring people. This is a huge loss." Seth Robinson, age 16, is the oldest grandchild of the Janways, and half-brother to 11-year-old Dalton. He's also the oldest son of Marianne Janway. He said his grandmother was a very sweet lady, and if you ever met her she was the nicest person you ever met in your life. He said she had been struggling with long-term depression for some time. He said, "My grandma was an amazing woman, and I wouldn't have thought that could possibly happen. It didn't seem like it was possible." He continued saying, "Growing up, Mom had a little bit of drug abuse. She struggled with that for a long time, and she went to get help a few years ago. That was her problem. Dalton's father kind of wasn't there for most of his life, and my mom had to travel elsewhere to get some help. My grandparents were there to take care of him. He had lived with them basically his whole life. They adopted him. My grandpa was just as amazing. He was the town's leading chiropractor. He always wanted to help people any way he could. I was actually working a summer job for him at the time this happened. My job was to operate any of the machines, and physical labor so he didn't have to. Speaking of weapons," he said, "my grandpa was a big gun owner. Everybody is around here. He had hunting weapons, and some were just for household protection." Seth said he last saw his brother on Tuesday of last week when he went with his younger brother to his first baseball game, the Tulsa Drillers, an affiliate of the Dodgers, versus the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. He said, Dalton liked it, and that he got a signed ball from one of the players. "I believe the ball is still in the house." Seth continued saying, "I am devastated. It's just a terrible thing to think about. I was close to my brother and grandparents. I saw them a lot. I have been reconnecting with them pretty good these past few years, and hanging out with my little brother." Seth revealed that his grandmother started her descent into depression when she lost her son Jordan 9 years ago. He doesn't believe she meant to harm anyone else. He believes she just snapped. Solder School Principal Ronya Davidson said Dalton was absolutely precious, and just a good friend to everyone. His classmates adored him, and thought of him highly. He had a loving smile, and he just carried himself in a way that just made him approachable, and friendly, someone you wanted to be around. He was thoughtful. He was someone who was able to pick up on the needs of others, and extend goodness in any turn he could. She continued, describing Dalton's willingness to accept everybody as they were, and find a way to connect with people made him special and a standout. A small memorial is building at the doorway of Dr. Jack Janway's chiropractic office. A note on the door says the office is closed due to unforeseen circumstances. Sean Wilkerson, a children's supervisor with Green Country Behavioral Health Services, said they are counseling those who need it in the community. "We do it a lot. We do it every time that this community needs us." He continued saying, "We're trying to meet them where they're at. Help understand where they are, and just kind of talk about it. We always want to know why, and most of the time in a suicide, a murder-suicide, we're not going to have those answers. Funeral arrangements have not been made yet." Depression is a very complex condition. It involves many of the body's systems. Globally, more than 300 million people suffer from depression. It's the leading cause of disability worldwide. It's completely normal to feel sad or to grieve during a loss or troubled times. However, depression is when that sadness persists every day for at least 2 weeks. Signs of depression: loss of interest in hobbies or activities that once were enjoyed. Increased fatigue with feelings of being sluggish. Irritability. Sometimes a person with depression can lose their temper much easier than before. Difficulty concentrating, remembering or making decisions. Feelings of guilt, worthlessness or helplessness. Disruptions in sleep. This can include insomnia, waking too early, or oversleeping. Eating disorders, such as appetite changes, weight loss or gain. Persistent physical symptoms such as digestive disorders, chronic pain or headaches. Thoughts of death or suicide. If you or someone you know is battling depression, know that with the right treatment it can get better. Please reach out. Help is just a phone call away. Terry Janway lost her son in a skydiving accident. Her depression grew over the years until she could no longer bear it. Sadly, she took her husband and grandson with her. Dalton had his whole life ahead of him. He deserved so much more. It's sad that she didn't seek professional help. May Dr. Jack and Dalton rest in peace. This video's scavenger hunt clue is the letter E like echo. That concludes this episode. Keep your eye out for the next volume, coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Want to help support the channel you love, and get something in return? Simply purchase some Elizabeth's Chronicles merch. We have coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, cozy blankets, beach towels, phone covers and more. Use the coupon code EC10OFF4U and get 10% off your order. The link to order is in the description area below this video. Thanks for helping Elizabeth's Chronicles continue to make the videos you love.